2. This is tied with a 4mm bead and a size 10 hook on there, a real small hook, but obviously you can use whatever size you want on there. I'm just going for real small finesse profile on these. This tail is a little bit long for that, but we could trim that. Anyways, over here we have our size 10 hook, a slotted 4mm tungsten bead on there. We have our nylon waxed line here. We're going to proceed to wrap that along, and then we are going to wrap this up until we get to the point of that hook. Right before the point of that hook, we're going to trim our line, our tag end rather, and then we are going to wrap all the way back to the top. Alright, that is when you start and apply your tail. This is a beautiful little hawk wing feather. So for this tail, we're going to grab these feathers. We are going to split them out like this, pretty much individually. Don't have to be perfect, but you want them all spread out as good as you can get them. I'm sure you could use a little comb, a little brush, something like that, but I just split them up with my fingers till you get however many you need for that tail. That's what I'm gonna go with right there. Grab that. We're gonna make sure we don't flatten them all. We're gonna make sure we flatten them all instead of put them all on top of each other, all uneven, not going the same way. We're gonna trim this, the front right where we ripped it off at the base of that feather, and you can also trim it and get it to the desired length you want it. If it's too long, trim it. If it's too short, trim it. I'm gonna put it right there. This line, or this thread rather, if we have it down here, we're not going to be able to, it's going to be a lot more difficult to wrap this. We want this thread up here so we can make precise, easy, good little movements with it. Boom. And we're going to not wrap that too hard, or else at the beginning, or else this tail is going to rotate to that side. So we're going to put the tail right where we want it, and we're going to wrap all the way down, pretty much to where that point of that hook is at. Right when you get in front of that, you're going to proceed to go back up. Now these bass, you could do different things with them. You could leave them up as part of the jig. You could trim them off. You can do all sorts of things, but for today, we're going to fold them down, and we're going to put our thread on top of them. And that is going to kind of add to the body, so I don't have to use a whole bunch of thread. We've got that material right there. We'll just use that material rather than a bunch of extra thread to make that body thicker. Something else I forgot to note. This bead, this slotted bead, it can slide. So you're going to want to get your thread, you're going to want to get it wrapped up right there so it doesn't slide. After you got that, you got your tail, it's time to add the body. Here we have some straggle string body here, all sorts of different colors, but what we're going to use for today is going to be some gray. Let's see, I'm going to go with this darker gray here, but you know, they'll eat any of it. Grab our snips. Just depends on what you're trying to fold or tie rather, what colors you're trying to go. If you're trying to go more natural or kind of a little more flamboyant. But alright, we're going to take our thread, we're going to put it right there along the top, or our body material rather, and then we're going to wrap our thread around. Boom, 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 boom. Pull it all the way back to about there. I'll take this and you can trim that, or you could just fold it back and wrap it. Boom, just like so. Now we have our body here. We're going to take our little grabbers here, put these boys in, secure, not just grab it at the end. You want to get a good bit in there, or else they'll slide right out when you put a little pressure on it. Alright, so we're going to take this and we're going to proceed to wrap. And as we're wrapping this, we're going to pull these little follicles from the body back rather than leaving them up, because if they're up, they will just get folded down and not really be showing, if that makes any kind of sense. See, like that, if you got them up like that, they're gonna just get wrapped up in there. You want to fold them back on each wrap. And I have to take my hand under here because I got this tripod in front of me, or else I could just keep going all the way around. Let's see, just like that. And like I said, I haven't been folding that body back, that fur back. Keep that back. Pull it up. And then you make your loop. Pull that fur back. It's not fur, but you guys get what I'm talking about. Alright, another loop. Right when we get to the top, stop it right there. And we will take our thread, we'll wrap that around, pull that body material back, give it a couple loops. Now we'll make a knot. Be easy with that thread because you'll fray it up and it won't be as strong. Make that loop, put that loop right over there, and then you're gonna seal that up. Boom, pull it tight, pull it each way so it gets the slack out. Another couple loops here. Pull the body material back. Another knot right there on top of your other knot. And we will be sealing this with some UV glue. But honestly, without that glue, I would say these knots right here would last pretty good time, but we'll seal it just so it doesn't, ensure that it never comes off till that hook breaks or something. But right there, we're good. We can snip that, or you can snip it after you glue it just to ensure it, but I'm pretty sure that knot's good. Snip those. And here we have our jig. Beautiful, hand-tied, little finesse tail, finesse body. Little ultra light, little small jig. And you don't want that tail too long. It's about a good size for that tail on there. You don't want it so extra long. Beautiful little jig. I'll seal that up with this glue, this UV glue. Pour a little bit right on the top. Just a hair on the top. And then we'll pull it around this way. a little bit. See, like that? That's a little bit too much. Grab that little excess on your finger. Alright. And this way, this side here. A little dab of that. And literally just pull that dab that you just put on there over, just like that. Got that glue on there. We'll take our UV flashlight, put that up close to it, and let that sit for a couple seconds to really seal the deal. And they just cannot resist them ultra light little feathers. I mean, those things just, they're real feathers. They move. Fishing in some current, or even just fishing this, just jigging it, you know, it's got a lot of action. And the fish, that's what they like. Stuff they're eating's got action. You know, some of it's just sitting, but a lot of it's got a little bit of action, and they can pick up on that. They feel the vibrations, they see it, and boom, that is our pretty little hand-tied jig. Hawk wing feathers, 4mm tungsten slotted beads, and that is the black nickel color.